Well, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Joby Hardwick. I am the owner of the and the GM at the Holiday Inn Express here in Crockett. I know some of you guys, y'all are familiar, and some of you I have not met. I'd like to give a little background of myself. I grew up in Pearland, Texas my whole life. Moved here to Crockett about a year and a half ago with my family. I've got a wife and 2 young children. My mother and dad were in small town government in Pearland. My mother was on the school board for many years. My father was with the appraisal district. So I understand small town government a little bit. I'm here to represent the Houston County Visitors and Tourism Bureau. We've been working with the judge on putting together a group that best represents Houston County. We've been working with the Texas Hotel Lodging Association with how the structure should be put together so that we can serve the county as a whole. What you have is a mission statement that more or less outlines what our goals are. I'm just looking forward to everyone in the community working for the betterment of Houston County. So if there's any questions, I'd be more than happy to help you with this.
Joby, what are you working on?
We've actually have been working on a number of different things, and the goal of the hot tax, which is the hotel occupancy tax, is to generate more people coming into the county from outside the county. One of the slogans that the Texas Hotel Lodging Association adopted, which they were the ones that helped write the law for the state so that counties could adopt it, one of their slogans is heads in beds. And so if anyone ever comes and wants to actually, wants us to issue them a grant or work with them on any of their projects, the first question is it put heads in beds? And we put together a board I think best represents Houston County in achieving that.
Tell us who your board is.
We've got some of the board members are here with us. Pip is on the board as well. Brian Lake, Glenn is on the board. We also have Penny Webb is on the board with us, as well as myself and Sonny Tunstall, and then with Judge overseeing us.
So what y'all are going to do is bring what you think are meaningful projects to the commission court for approval of case by case?
Yes, sir. Mr. Kitchen, there's actually an application form that all the counties actually use. It's been provided by the Texas Hotel Lodging Association, and it allows us to customize it for the people that want to request funding for whatever their project might be. So we would offer that to them, have them fill that out, and then we would review it and see what would actually work best for the county, and either approve it or disapprove it. There's also a post report that is done after their event that we will keep records of so that we can use that for consideration for further projects they may bring to us.
Are you going to bring us every application, or are you going to screen them and bring us what you think is the most profitable in terms of Houston County benefit?
What has actually been done with other counties is they actually have an annual budget. Most other counties will come, or most other bureaus will actually come to the county, come to the Commissioner's Court, present them with their annual budget and some of the ideas. Generally, a lot of these things will already be preempted that we'd like to support for the upcoming year, and then bring that budget to the Commissioner's Court for approval. So after talking with some of I went to a seminar a couple weeks ago and talked to a lot of other representatives from other counties. And talking to them, Judge and I weren't sure on the structure on how they would approve it. You know, when you read the law, it kind of more or less, it's kind of vague whether you get the Commissioner's Court on every item or if you get the Commissioner's Court on an annual budget. And after talking to some of the other counties, they do it based on an annual budget. And if any other additional monies would be needed, then of course we'd have to come to the Commissioner's Court.
I think that when we adopted the hotel motel tax, I'll have to look at it again, read it specifically, but I think that ours is on a case by case, so that what actually would have to happen is the Bureau would bring us what they think is a meaningful project, then the five of us will actually consider it and have to approve it at that time for that dollar amount. I think we'll have to have, because of the way we adopted our original tax. But since it can be done both ways, that should not delay,
No.
because we can have a special call meeting if given notice, something that is urgent, we can always make adjustments to compensate for that.
Not a problem.
Any other comments?
I was just gonna say, there's 254 ways of doing everything.
I know.
That's the joke.
Joby, thank you all for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Most of all, we appreciate you taking the time out of your personal lives and your businesses and things like that, so we really appreciate it. We're here to help you and work together to promote Houston County and bring tourism and benefit everyone here. So we appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Joe. Item number 16. It's already happening. Consider approving policy and procedure for Homeland Security and Emergency Management Training Compliance. David, you want to talk us through this?
Okay, here a couple of weeks ago, I was in Lufkin visiting with the Angelina County coordinator, and they had previous to my going over, they had an audit by SAA, which is the controlling of all the monies and stuff in the state. And one of the things that they got hit on was they did not have a policy and procedures in place. And they had this example that they gave them, which I got a copy of, and that's the one that y'all have. When we started doing NIMS, which is ICS, but this National Incident Management System, we mainly focused on law enforcement, fire service, and EMS. And we're finding out that they're requiring us to go into, if you work for the government, you gotta have these classes. The 4 classes that most everybody would have to take, you can get them online, but with the computer, it's no big deal. It doesn't take that long to take them. And then your supervisor classes are required to take 300 and 400, which are basically 3-day schools. I checked with TEACS earlier this week or yesterday, and they're not scheduling any classes until after September the 1st. So I'm in the process, if this gets approved, then I'll get in line with the rest of the world and try to get some 3-1 classes scheduled for our people. I'm also going to be going to all 5 cities to get them to hopefully adopt the same thing for their communities.
David, on this is looks like it's a self-assessment tool.
Basically, that's what it is. In fact, I used it last night. I went out and audited one of my fire departments. I've been doing that for the last couple of months. And one of the big questions in their audit was when they'd asked the coordinator, where do you get the information to put in this NIMSCAS report? Well, you don't, the fire department's got it. Well, you don't have any documentation other than my field notes. So they've come up with this forms and stuff. You fill that out, and there's also a form that the chief would sign for each of those departments that he's affirming that that is true and correct to the best of his knowledge. So it's another one of the government mandates that more classes that we have to take.
Would they include elected officials? By the way.
Yeah, it includes everybody. I mean, from him all the way down to whoever's driving the dump truck or whatever.
So there you